Oof. Welcome to the beginnings of greatness. Another action-packed episode. My name is Matt Rhodes, and with me is the lovely assistant to the guest host, Joey Livingston.
Did you mean to make all those nasty noises as we began?
Oh, I did it before we began. They didn't catch that.
Yes, it did.
They caught me.
You didn't hear Ricky?
I heard him count down, but then he usually does he does this with his hands after he gets to 2. He goes.
He never.
And then points to a tip, and that means go. So you're saying they caught my pre-show warm up?
Hello, my name is Joey Livingston, assistant to the guest host. Oh, that's right. Don't switch to me. They do such a great job on the mixer until it comes our show.
Hey, what the hell? I don't understand.
My name is Joey Livingston, assistant to the guest host. Why are they cutting to the overall shot?
They do a perfect job for Reflections, for William Langle.
Without error. They have no errors.
For Dr. Jones, for Alan Darley. When it comes to us, they just don't give a poop. They don't give a poop about us. They think we're some kind of joke.
We are not a joke.
Mm-mm.
We have a new member of our crew.
Yes, we do.
His name is Intern.
Intern. Yeah.
Which works out really well, actually. His name is Intern the Intern. And do you just guessing here, would you, if you were to guess, would you say the intern lives in squalor?
Now, just guessing here, yeah, I believe our intern just lives in just squalor, turmoil.
I mean,
strife.
Don't base it on anything. Don't base the guess on anything.
Well,
do you think intern lives in squalor?
I'm guessing that he lives in squalor.
Okay. Like what kind of squalor would you guess that intern lives in?
Like you know how a pig lives in poop?
A pig does not live
Our
in poop.
intern lives in squalor.
First of all, a pig does not live in poop.
Sure,
No,
sure
it does. It lives in mud.
And where do you think they go to the outhouse to use the bathroom?
They step out of the mud and they go and they poop in a nice place.
Right.
And then they
cover
get back
it up.
in the mud. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that pigs do that. I'm sorry.
But you're suggesting the intern doesn't. Is that what you're saying?
I'm suggesting that our intern poops where he sleeps, and that is the main.
Do you think he poops where he eats?
Yeah, well, he eats where he sleeps, so yeah.
Makes sense.
A lot of poop.
There's a lot of arguments in favor of living that way, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, you save time. You save time.
Save a lot of time. You don't have to move.
You save time and travel.
Oh yeah.
It's fuel efficient.
Right. Like you got to poop, you just lean over a little bit. You got to eat, you lean the other way and eat your cup of noodles.
Right.
And you go to sleep, you just lay straight back.
It's all about leaning. It's
Yeah.
all about leaning.
Leaning
in the intern's worse than pig squalor.
Squalor. Ding. Squalor.
I love that word squalor.
I like it too. Like I wonder if it comes from like a meteorologist type of term, it'd be like a nautical term, squall. You got a big squall.
Well, there's a
coming,
squall.
And then squall-er.
Well, like squalor, it comes from like a squall is a storm.
Yeah.
And so squalor is when you add poop to the storm.
So it's a shitstorm.
and it just you swirl poop with food and living quarters, and you get a squalor.
It's like a poop tornado. This
a poopicane.
Poopicane, I like that. A poop nami. Poop nami. A poop clone. It's like a thunderstorm, pooper storm, pooper scooper storm.
I think this joke was done about 30 seconds ago. That's why I stopped.
Yeah, but we got to exhaust every possibility.
I don't think we did.
Yeah,
no.
on that particular joke we had to.
So, I went to the doctor this week. Did I tell you about this? Just say no.
I haven't heard a thing about this.
All right. So, I went to the doctor because months ago, spots started appearing on my body.
Mm-hmm.
Just like random spots.
I was going to ask you about those spots.
Purplish blue.
Purplish blue. Sounds serious.
Smaller than a dime, but bigger than a BB.
Smaller than a dime, yet larger than a BB.
In random areas. Started on my collarbone.
Kind of like a piece of corn.
One came up on my collarbone. Yeah. And I was like, did I get an STD on my collarbone?
I bet you did.
And how would that have happened?
Well, I heard birds carry STDs.
How would one get an STD on their collarbone?
Bird poop. Well, I can think of a way somebody get an STD on a collarbone.
Okay, maybe you shouldn't share it with us.
Like, I'm not going to share the full thing, but I'm saying if you had a scab or something on your collarbone, and
well, it's not a scab. It looks more like a bruise.
So the spot looks
but
like
it won't go away.
Is it still there? Can maybe see it?
I guess.
If it's on your collarbone, yeah, come on.
Right. Let's see here. There
Goodness. Looks like a birthmark, kind of.
Yeah. It's like a.
That's where people's been touching you with a 10-foot pole.
Here. Here. I'll stroke it for you.
Oh, nice. Do you have any? Are there any hairs growing on it?
No.
That's what I like to see.
That's what you like to see.
I love it. Hairs.
So then shortly after, one just like it showed up on my calf.
Ooh, it's getting lower and lower.
Like how your eyebrows raised seconds before I said calf.
Can we meet in the middle somewhere?
And then one popped up on the side of my stomach.
Is it still on your calf?
Yeah.
Let me see that one.
Show it, but you can see it.
You don't have to show it to them.
It looks just like the one on my collarbone.
It does too.
Oh.
And you got one on the side of your
on the side of my
belly.
stomach right here.
Now, where's the last one at?
Oh, there's something wrong with you. Anyways, these spots would not go away.
That's the only ones you have? 3? 1, 2, 3?
Only 3 that I'm willing to talk about.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The rest is just for me. Just for me.
Sick.
Yeah. I may or may not have them in other special places. Yeah.
But you did show the doctor every single one of them, right?
I showed the doctor all of them.
Okay, yeah.
Because I share all things with my doctor.
Yeah, you got to trust your doctor. You got to.
That's right.
Nothing's too embarrassing for a doctor to show them.
Yeah. Anybody who can touch you in all places needs to know everything.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's including non-doctors.
Because you can't hide. You can't hide from somebody who can touch you in all places.
They'll find it. They dig,
they'll
burrow.
figure it out. Then they'll know you. Then they'll know you're a freaking liar.
That's right. They're like, why does this guy?
Why didn't you just tell me? You knew I was going to touch it.
Wanted I?
Yeah. And you're like, please don't touch it.
Please don't touch it. He's going to touch it anyway.
And you're like, please don't touch it. That doesn't work either.
It's like a rape.
Just makes them do it more.
Yeah. That goes true with rapists and doctors.
Right. Right. Basically synonymous.
Right.
Yeah, especially prostate doctors.
Like, and also the therapist. It's spelled the rapist anyway, so.
Intern thinks that's hilarious. I didn't think it was hilarious. Intern thinks
well, that's why I have an intern to laugh at my jokes.
Intern obviously hasn't watched Celebrity Jeopardy.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
You definitely
SNL.
They totally had that joke on Celebrity Jeopardy. Sean Connery was like, "I'll take the rapist for 500," and Alex Trebek was like, "That's the therapist."
Well, I remember that now, but I got it. I heard that on Squidbillies. They was going to
that sounds like squalor.
A therapist, and then they didn't find out to the end of the show that it's actually the rapist. Like, well, he's putting on gloves. Yeah. It was funny.
So you let me finish my story.
No, please. Please.
Mr. Tangent. So I went to my regular doctor, and he looked at it and he was like, "Oh, that's He said, "I don't know what that is, but we'll just." Yeah, my doctor said, "I don't know what that is, but we'll just we'll put some steroid cream on it or something."
Nice. Not
so he prescribed some steroid cream.
That'll just make it stronger.
I rubbed it on my body for 2 weeks. And it didn't go away.
Oop.
So I went back and I said, "It's not going away." And he said, "Well, He said, "I don't know what that is."
That's not good.
He keeps saying this. I don't know what that is. And then he says, "But I don't think it's anything serious." He said, "But I'm gonna refer you to a dermatologist." He said, "But I don't think it's anything serious." He said, "I don't know what that is. I'm gonna refer you, but I don't think it's anything serious."
Mm-mm.
And he said, "Don't put that medicine on anymore until a dermatologist will call you, but I don't think it's anything serious."
Mm-mm.
5 times he said, "I don't think I don't think it's anything serious."
Right. He's trying to.
And I looked him in the eye and I said, "It is beginning to disturb me how many times you're telling me that you don't think it's anything serious."
Right.
And he kind of laughed. He's like, "Well, I don't think it's anything serious." So.
Have you seen the dermatologist?
It took a month for me to get in to see the dermatologist. And I'm like, well.
Busy guy.
I've got this thing on my body.
Got this thing on my thing.
It's not on my thing.
Oh,
Let's just get that out of the way.
Joking.
Stop talking about my thing.
I'm just joking.
Only my doctor and my wife can talk about that. Okay. So
I've heard your wife talk about it. It's funny. Please go ahead.
Can I just say that ever since we started this show, every single time I have gone back in my head to try and figure out when the decision was and why we decided to let you in front of a camera.
Keep thinking. It'll pop up in your head. Please continue your story. I'm so sorry I interrupted you.
So, anyways, you got me all flustered now.
You finally got to see the dermatologist.
Well, but I just want to dwell on this point for a moment. I've got this thing that my doctor says, I don't know what that is.
Right.
But it's not serious. 5 times, 6 times, he says, I don't think it's anything serious. Refers me to a dermatologist. Takes a month for me to get into the dermatologist. Ridiculous. What if it was some sort of festering plague, that I had?
You'd be screwed.
What if it was leprosy?
Like, what if, you'd be done for.
Right. What if I had AIDS cancer?
Done for. Be dead. What if it was like a mold that's constantly just growing, like ever growing, just beep, 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 beep.
What if it was bubonic leukemia?
Be screwed.
It would be.
Your lungs would be shot.
So I finally get into the dermatologist, and I'm like, I've got these spots, and he starts like looking on my back. He's looking on my back. I have none of these spots on my back, and he's looking on my back, and then he's looking on my head. Mm-hmm. I have none of these spots on my head. He's looking on my shoulders. He's touching me all over these places. And then he starts like looking on my chest and my on my tay-tays and on my stomach. I have no spots. These things are. I mean, you can see this one.
Right.
It's not hard to see.
No.
He's searching all over my body.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at these and he's like, "Oh, that's eczema." Does that look like
spots,
eczema to you?
No, it doesn't look like eczema. Eczema is like dry skin.
This guy is an award-winning dermatologist. He said,
"What did he win the award
for?" He won an Oscar for a role he played in a small short film.
Nice.
And he says it's eczema. And I have problems with earwax. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed my regular doctor that, and he said it's not earwax, it's dry skin. You have eczema. Okay, that makes sense to me. Dry skin, eczema. Okay,
Yeah,
when I was a kid, the flesh would peel off of my feet, and I showed it to the doctor. He said that's eczema. It's dry skin coming off of my feet, just bad, just like athlete's foot eczema.
Eczema. That's what that is. That's not eczema.
That's what I always thought eczema was. Dermatologist looks at my ear and he says that isn't eczema. That is yeast.
You got a yeast infection.
He said, everybody. No, it's not a yeast infection. Could you stop just jumping ahead of me? He says, everybody has yeast on top of their head. It starts here, and it works its way down. Some people have more than others, and that's what manifests itself as sometimes dandruff is yeast, sometimes it's dry skin. He said, but what you have is yeast, and the way you get rid of it is you use dandruff shampoo, but you leave it on top of your head for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That's what he said. He said, and that will help control your ear problem, but that is not eczema. He said, but what you have here, that's eczema.
So that is eczema.
And he prescribed the same steroid cream that my doctor prescribed. Well, actually, he prescribed an ointment. Same chemical, but an ointment. I said, my doctor gave me a cream. He said, oh, well, these doctors, they just don't prescribe ointments. I don't know why they don't prescribe ointments. I'm going to give you an ointment.
Yeah.
He gave me 5 boxes, like a big Ziploc bag full of this ointment. I don't have any place to put it in my house.
Nice. What's the name of it?
I can't remember. But whatever it is, it's only 1% of that. That's how potent it is. No, it's 0.1%.
Oh,
yeah, that's how potent it is. And you're only supposed to put a very thin layer on there. Otherwise, your flesh will fall off.
Ooh. That's dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on.
Okay, go
Did
ahead.
you have some...
No, I forgot what I was going to say.
Something you think is funny
No,
that you want to say?
I was going to ask you a serious question, but it escaped me.
I don't believe you. So anyways, come to find out, the reason why he's touching me all over my back and my tay-tays and my stomach is he's looking for dark spots. Mm-hmm. He's not looking for this. He's looking for dark black spots.
He's looking for skin cancer.
Yeah.
Right.
He found 2 dark black spots on my stomach. And he said those could be serious. If it's melanoma, you're in trouble.
It's not a good thing to hear. I would like to hear that.
And I said, can you offer me something comforting? And he said, you might die.
Nice. Nice Dr. Well, he tells it like it is, I reckon.
Right.
That's why he won the award for being a blunt doctor.
How did you... you don't know that. Anyways, they said, we're going to have to take a biopsy. I didn't go in there to get a biopsy done.
No way.
I went in there to get ointment for my purple-blue spots.
Right. You wanted those to go away. You didn't want no biopsy.
That's right. I didn't want a biopsy. But he's telling me if I don't let him cut me, that then I might, go for years and let cancer grow on me. Right.
Nobody wants cancer growing on them.
No.
So get it cut. Got it cut.
Right.
Did you get it cut?
Well, he said we're gonna. I'm so boring that I'm even losing my crew. The crew is like walking out because they're that bored.
They're like, time for a cigarette.
Yeah. He's gonna be a while.
Maybe when we come back, the show will be over.
So
but I am very interested in this story.
So a biopsy requires, at the very least, a scalpel and cutting your flesh. That's what a biopsy is. They cut a little piece of flesh.
Kind of like a circumcision.
So that they can examine it later.
Yeah.
It's not foreskin. It's like, it's worse than foreskin because it's not, well, it probably isn't worse.
It's probably the worst. It's foreskin.
Foreskin is probably the worst. But it's not, a biopsy is not nearly as much as foreskin.
Right.
But it also usually involves a numbing agent via a needle.
Nice.
Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I was terrified of needles.
Yeah, I didn't like needles that much.
I didn't want shots. I wanted to escape them as much as possible. My mom was like, well, I know it hurts, but it's, it's good for you. The stuff that they're doing, it's protecting you from disease and it's making you better.
Right.
And I didn't hear any of that. I say that to my kids these days, and I know they're not hearing any of it.
BS, Dad.
Yeah.
It's Hoyts.
And but growing up, I've rationalized this in my head enough to where I can take a needle. Somebody can give me a shot, and I still that child in me is still scared. Do you experience that as an adult when somebody comes at me with a needle? My heart skips a beat just a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't do as a child would and run out the room screaming anymore.
But I know that
it
is probably going to hurt.
Right.
Even just a little bit.
Oh, it's going to hurt. You're going to feel pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know it's coming.
I don't like to feel pain.
I hate it.
if I do feel like I could take clippers and clip my nails, and I might clip it wrong and it'll sting, and that's almost a needle probably won't hurt much more than that. But somebody else is doing it, and I have no control over when they're going to stick that needle in my arm.
That's the thing there. Somebody else is doing it.
And I have to sit there and bare my vein at them while they stick it in there. But I can take that, okay?
Right.
Somebody can stick a needle in my arm. Somebody can stick it in my leg. They can stick it in my butt. They can stick it in my back. They could probably stick it in my... In fact, I sat for an hour after I got in a wreck, and a lady... They gave me pain medication, but a lady stitched up my head, and it still hurt like heck. And I just sat there, you know... I made this face. For an hour, you know, while she mangled my head.
Man.
You know, but even... Okay, so this is the point I'm getting to. Whether it be stitching my gaping head or sticking a needle in my arm or taking a kitchen knife to my back, none of that stuff scares me like pricking my stomach. And I don't know why that is, but the moment that they said, we're going to have to do a biopsy on a spot on your stomach, there was something in my brain that said, holy F. and it was really the letter F. I don't know why. It's just like...
Capital F. That's bold.
Right.
Holy F.
And my first question was, you need to tell me how much pain I can expect.
Yeah.
And they said, well, yeah, it's just going to be... There's going to be a little prick when we numb you.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's just going to be a little pressure. Doctors always say, it's just a little pressure.
Little pressure.
You know what? The word pressure means when a doctor uses it. It's another word for pain. It's just going to be a little pressure.
It's just going to be a little pain.
That's all. And I knew that when I was a kid, that pressure meant pain.
Yeah. Pressure hurts. You put enough pressure on something, man. Shoot.
Yeah. So the nurse walks up, and you can probably get this in this front shot here. The spot that they were going to cut is right here, okay? And, you know, the stomach, from here to here on the body, this is the only part of the body that is completely unprotected by bone.
Right.
I can't think of another spot that on your way in, maybe right here, right here.
This is pretty vulnerable.
But on your way in, you're not going to encounter any bone. It's going to be all muscle and flesh.
Organs underneath that.
And to some extent, it's a little bit hollow right here.
Yeah.
So... You know, it feels like this is my only place without armor, and you're going to stab me with something metal. So I put my arm down here while she does it. And the nurse is untrained enough to let me do it.
Right.
You know, I would never let somebody do that if I was going to cut them there,
right.
And I wanted them to let me, because they could just go like this, you know,
yeah.
or they could go like that, which is what I did to her.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll talk about that later.
You know, that's another story. I've got charges pressed against me, but I have my arm right here, and she sticks me with a needle, and it does hurt. You know,
needles
hurt.
And
I'm like, they say, look this way, so you don't. They're treating me like an 8-year-old.
Right.
You know, they're like, look this way, and I'm like, is crew member behind the video mixer, or is it?
It doesn't seem like
it. Is it intern?
No, intern.
Let me try that again and see if he see what he does. I was like,
crew member is funny today.
Oh, crew member. Okay, so anyways, they give me the shot, and now I'm numbed. And then the doctor comes up with a scalpel, and he's like, and he sees me with my arm down here like this, and he's like, He said, are you prone to nausea? And I looked him right in the face. I said, no, but I'm prone to being scared. And he said, I see. He said, well, do you mind taking your arm and putting it like this? Now, that's like saying...
Very vulnerable.
You know, it's like, hey, I'm fixing to punch you in the stomach. Do you mind putting your arm up here so it's not protected?
Yeah, come on, man.
Don't be cool, man. Put your arm up here where I can get it, where I can get your stomach. So I do. I put my arm up here, and he's grabbing my stomach, and he's sticking a scalpel up to it, and I am terrified, but I know I've got to let him do it. So he says, "Look this way, look away, don't look at it." And I'm looking at it the way, and I'm starting to act like an 8-year-old. I'm like, and he's like, "Are you okay, sir? Sir, are you in pain?" And I was like, "Just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it." He's like, "No, sir, are you in pain?" And I look at him and I'm like, "No, I'm not in pain." And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, and I'm doing this the whole time that he's cutting me. And it was humiliating.
Of course it was.
Who acts like that?
He's acting like a little bitch. Like little babies.
I never act like that. I never act like that.
I've never seen you act like that.
No.
Towards anything.
I'm Mr. Got it together.
Right, yeah. Cool and
That's
calm.
right. I can handle anything.
Anything goes.
But you take a little
bitty blade.
Exactly right. And skim it across my stomach. He wasn't stabbing it in.
Yeah,
he was pinching the flesh, and he's just taking a little slice off of there.
Barely scraping you.
And I couldn't stand it.
Man.
I'm ticklish down there.
Right. I don't think that was it, though.
Well, that was part of it.
I'm afraid he's going to tickle me.
I'm real sensitive about being touched down there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
We're talking about my
Very
stomach.
sensitive.
We're still talking about my stomach.
No, I saw some.
I'm sensitive about being touched on my stomach.
My belly button's very sensitive.
Add a needle and a knife to it, and I fall apart.
I mean, I could see where you could somebody could act like that, but out of all the people, if you would ask me, do you think Joey would act like a, like crybaby, little bitch? I'd be like, no, Joey's a tough guy. I've seen him roll in a van 8 times and walk away with a bloody head.
All right, you're making me into a legend here. It rolled once. Blood gushed down my face.
And
several people thought I was going to die. I'm just saying.
Most people thought you was going to die.
I went to a meditative stasis so that I wouldn't panic.
Right. Yeah, it's best not to go in shock if you can help it. Then you're screwed. What? Today's Wednesday?
I wasn't scared in that moment either. I wasn't. Yeah. They loaded me in the ambulance, and I was the way they were talking, I wondered if I had a chance of dying. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't like a panicky fear. There was just a concern. I want to know.
Right.
So I asked the guy. I said, "Am I going to be okay?" And the guy said, "Oh yeah, you're going to be okay." And I was fine after that.
Yeah.
But I go in for somebody to look at some spots on my skin, and the next thing you know, I'm flipping out like a little kindergartner.
And you was doing that before he even cut you.
Okay, if I'm like this and I'm going, I mean that's one thing. Okay, that's bad. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
But put me like this, and I'm going. That's pretty bad.
I wish.
That's way worse.
I wish he would have videotaped it. I would like to have seen it. Was it just like that? Exactly like that? Or worse? It was probably 10 times worse.
Is anybody back there monitoring the audio? Because the audience sure is.
Sound.
Does anybody have earphones on?
They say the sound is awful.
They're saying the sound is awful.
Holla if you hear me.
I just said it again.
Holla if you hear me.
So
can you more details?
Audience, can we have more details?
A little more detail, audience. Get with the program. What does it sound like? Humming, hissing? This what is it?
So sound is back, pull back from microphone. Awful sound. Sound is awful, sound is awful.
Pull back from Were we just too close to the microphone? I don't think so.
All right.
Just every other time you talk.
Audience, I'm so sorry about that. I'll try to stay back.
Deal with it, audience. Now you got to tell your story again from the beginning.
All right. So, anyways, I got this spot on my collarbone.
Can I see it? Where else is it?
So I've taken up over half the show. Is there anything that you'd like to talk about?
Yes. I want to talk about this book.
There's nothing that you want to talk about.
Sure it is.
No. Besides that book.
Well, there was something I was going to talk about, but it might. It depends on where. No. I want to talk about this. That's my first thing I want to talk about.
This is not a big deal. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is your show too, and I've taken it up. So, is there anything that you want to talk about?
I was just going to talk about puppy dogs and how they smell.
All right, let's pause the show until crew member gets back on the video mixer.
Crew member,
we need you, please.
Now, I would like to talk about this book called Mobile Art. Now, it's all about art from Mobile, Alabama.
So this is a book called Mobile Digital Art.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's following you, Ghost. A ghost was pushing the microphone towards your face.
This needs to be tightened. That's all.
That's what she said. What? Tell me.
So, about, I would say 2-3 years ago, a guy contacted me via email, and he said, man, I really like your art on that you're doing on the iPhone.
He was a hippie.
He was like, I think it's really cool. He said, can I put you in a book? He said, I'll give you a free book, and I'll give you a share of the profits.
Sweet.
I already had the art made, so I was super busy even back then. So I was like, well, he just wants the art. So I gave him the art, and he was like, can you write some stuff about your art? Can you show me your process? And I was like, man, I don't know when I'm going to have time. He's like, well, just, whenever you get a chance. And, throughout my life, I've had people talk to me about using my stuff for free.
Right.
And putting it in something and sharing the profits with me or something like that. And
what's going on?
Still having audio complaints. Can somebody pull up Ustream and see if it's
Hamburger, 1, 2, 3. Hamburger, you know me. Audio problem. Audio cheese.
Anyways, most of the time I'm like, whatever, I don't get involved because I don't do stuff for free.
Screw that. Why do stuff for free?
I got to make a living.
Yeah. You got kids and a wife to take care of.
That's right.
That free crap's for the boys.
Well, even back when I didn't, I was like,
Like, my name's Joey M.F. and
I got conned once into giving free stuff away, and I didn't get back what I was promised.
Never again.
I ain't never doing it again.
Fool me once, shame
So
on
I don't know
me.
why I did this. I think it was because he was part of a community that I trusted. But I didn't think anything was going to come of it. I figured I just, I wasn't going to do anything with the artwork anyway, so I gave it to him.
Right.
And, he kept emailing people about it and stuff. He included me in this group, and I don't, I think a lot of people kind of didn't know whether it was actually going to happen or not. He said he lost his publisher one day, and I'm like, oh, dude, you're just like running out of steam or something.
How did he die?
Just telling a story. Huh?
How did he die?
The publisher?
Yeah.
The publisher just decided not to publish the book.
Oh, he didn't die.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said he
No,
lost
he
him.
didn't die. But I'll let you have a moment if you have
Now,
any.
usually when people say lost,
Do you have any other really funny jokes that you want to tell before I continue my story?
yes. Now that no, go ahead. Please go ahead. I don't want to take up any more of your precious time.
I gave you a chance to have some time on this show, and you turned it down.
I want to talk about your book.
No, this is my moment.
My time to shine. My name
Can I
is
finish
my time. I thought we was gonna bust out into a song.
Can I finish my story
Please
without you interrupting me?
Please
anymore?
finish your story. I want to hear it.
I don't even know if I want to finish it anymore.
Hey,
This was special. This was a special moment for me, and you're like, I don't get to talk about this anywhere else. This book is going up on the shelf, and nobody else will know about it, and you won't even let me finish my story about it.
Please finish your story, Joe. I'm sorry I interrupted your spiel about mobile art.
Mobile art.
Mobile art. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
This is not art from Mobile.
I bet you there's somebody in there from Mobile.
This is mobile art. Art done on mobile devices, not mobile devices. I don't think you're taking me seriously. What time is it? All right, I got a few more minutes, so if you'll just please. All right, thank you. All right. So, finally, I'm in my house the other day, and delivery shows up. I'm like, I didn't order anything.
Was it Mr. McFeely?
You know, I order stuff all the time. I'll order T-shirts, or I'll order equipment for the show, or I'll order something for my business. So I know when stuff's coming in.
Right.
And I'm like, there's nothing. I didn't order anything.
Mm-hmm.
This package shows up. I'm like, maybe somebody got me a gift.
Mm.
You know?
That would have been nice.
Actually, that was my last thought, to be honest. But nobody buys me gifts. So I pick up the package, and I open it up, and there's this book in it.
Jeez, my knees.
Audience, has anybody checked this on Ustream? You pulled it up on a different computer?
Does
it
sound
sounds
all right?
fine. They say it sounds fine.
I don't know.
Well, let's finish.
Audience, it's your computer, not us.
Granted, it was intern that said that it was.
Oh, that's true.
Is his name Intern or is it Apprentice?
Intern. His name's Intern, and he lives in Squalor. So why are we even listening to him?
I wish it was Apprentice.
Yeah.
Can we change it to Apprentice?
Yeah. Intern, apprentice, intern.
Apprentice. Apprentice the Apprentice. Okay, so anyways, I open this box up, and there's this book in it right here.
That's the book.
And I'm like, I didn't order this book. What is this? And first of all, what's going on with that cover? There's a ton of pictures in here. David Scott Leibowitz, author of this book. Look at this. Look at this picture. First of all, I just want to stop on this one point here. I can flip. There are a ton of pictures in this book. Look at this one. Okay, look at this one. I didn't paint this one, but isn't that a great picture?
That's great.
It's a great picture. Look at this one. There's an awesome picture in here. Right here. Look at this. Look at this picture.
Oh, man. That's Mona Lisa.
Isn't that a great picture?
Yeah,
Let me show you one more picture. I'm just going to turn randomly through here. Look at this picture. This is a picture. This is painted. This is a painted picture. Isn't that a great picture?
It's beautiful.
Okay. This is the picture he chose for the cover.
That's probably what he drew.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
I mean, look at this is my picture. Okay, look at my picture. This is my picture.
That should be on the cover.
I'm just saying there are a ton of pictures in here that are better than my picture, but this is the picture that he chose for the cover.
Yeah, it's just like ink. I'm gonna call that ink. Digital ink. Now,
first of all,
did he draw that?
Not only. Okay, first of all, this picture was painted by Patricio Villarroel, who does some great artwork.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the picture that among all of Patricio Villarroel's art, this is what
I'm sure
this is what they picked.
Yeah. Well, now is it Leibowitz's fault, or maybe the publisher put their hand into the creative?
No, it's definitely Leibowitz's fault.
Oh,
no.
Bad move, Leibowitz.
But so, anyways, I just noticed that. I was like, why? I just noticed why pick that picture out of all these pictures. But
right.
Anyways, it doesn't even. It takes me 30 seconds after I open it. I'm like, did my mom buy this for me or something? Like that she thought that I would like this weird book. Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is the book that guy was going to put me in.
Finally got around to it.
So I have 4 pages in this book. I have the main painting, and then I have stuff that I wrote about myself. I wasn't important enough for somebody else to write about me. I had to write about myself.
Now, did you write the process also?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
you wrote all that
process pictures in here. I wrote the whole thing.
Nice.
You want to hear one of my quotes?
I do.
Let's see here. Okay, this one here. The biggest advantage of painting on the iPhone or iPod Touch is the use of layers, which allows you to separate the background objects and the foreground objects. Let's see. Hold on. Let me find one more. Okay. Well, I guess this doesn't have what I thought it had in it. Anyways, I don't believe most of the stuff that I wrote in here anymore.
Now, layers are awesome. That is the great thing about digital.
That is, yes, I do. It's just that I don't paint on the iPhone anymore. I haven't painted a picture on the iPhone in a long time.
You use that new thing you got, right?
Yeah, I use a Microsoft Surface.
Surface.
Which I would be booed out of this book.
Right, they would have killed you.
I don't think they even consider it a mobile device. I would be booed out of this book.
Yeah, they would. They'd be
like if they watched the show and found out how to open up this book tomorrow, and I would be like, "Where's my pages?"
Right, they'll recall every copy.
And I would see like little rip marks, and a window would be broken in my house.
The publishing fairy came swoop down.
And then all of the group of people in this book, they would say, "I woke up yesterday morning, and the window was broken in my house, and Joey's pages were ripped out of this book."
I don't know why. Oh, wait.
And Dave would be like, "He uses the Microsoft Surface." And everybody would be like, "Oh, okay.
Boo this man.
I'll fix my window."
Boo. I'll fix my window.
High five David Leibowitz.
Good job, Leibowitz.
For ripping out Joey's pages from this book.
May I ask before we close, how long ago did he start that book, or did he mention it to you?
I think this project was started about 3 years ago.
Nice, and then you got a nice surprise when it just showed up.
The thing of it is, I recreated this painting on the iPad, and it's way better on the iPad.
Right.
And I was like, I emailed him. I was like, "Hey man, I recreated this painting on the iPad. Can I send you the
updated version?"
Yeah, the updated version. He was like, "This was probably okay." I was like, "Man, it's the exact same painting."
Exactly the same, except
not the exact. I mean, but the exact same theme. Two kids working in a garage building something.
You could have used all the same words, all the same
pretty much
writing.
Yeah, pretty much. Replace the word iPhone with iPad.
Right. Absolutely.
Anywho's, I thought it was pretty cool.
That's a great honor. You are a
and there's some really cool artwork in this book. If you want to buy it, don't judge a book by its cover, folks. It's called Crew Member.
It's called Mobile Digital Art.
Bonding with intern back there. All right. Mobile Digital Art. According to this, I got this for free. You can't have one for free though. This doesn't have a price on it, so I don't know how much it costs, but you can find it on focalpress.com, or you can go to Amazon. I'll probably get a penny if you buy one.
Support your
but it's got some really cool artwork
artists.
in it. Besides mine, there's some really amazing stuff in here that people have accomplished on mobile devices.
No, that is a cool book. You get to learn the little processes of all these great artists. I think it's
they talk awesome. All of them talk about their processes. I'm going to read some of them. Some of them I am.
Some of them. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations as an artist. I'm sure that means a lot. I'd like to have my picture posted in a
This is one of my favorites.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah. That's a big tree.
That's by
that's a
Matthew
big tree.
Rains. He's an excellent artist.
Matthew grabbed the reins. Down the plains, Matthew grabbed the reins.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 3:45, and unlike our other shows, we like to end on time. So
take note, Greg Bray.
Take note,
Bob
Greg
Graves,
Bray,
Dr.
Bob
Jones,
Graves, DJ, Rhonda Jones,
Alan Darley. Actually, I can't fault Alan Darley. It takes about 30 minutes, and he's like, "Well, there's no questions, so I think I'll be back in December."
I'll see you in 2014. We love Alan Darley. We love everybody on here, but they need to step up and get with the gold standard that is the beginnings of greatness, and then we'll really be playing with fire.
Hosts, if you will follow our example, you will get a T-shirt that says, "I followed Tbog's example."
I follow Tbog.
All right,
is my
that's the end of the show. Close the curtain.
Love you guys.
This is the professional way to close a show.
Peace out.
You got to do this.
Go away. Get.
This is a signal, a subtle signal to the mixer.
Go on now, get. Come on there, crew member. Oh, crew member, give me some fava beans. So